Now, I'm echoing. I'm all over the place. I know the mic works. Hi, everybody. Weather Extra. Wah-cha-cha-cha-cha. That was a very uneventful cha-cha-cha. I'm sorry about that. Wah-cha-cha. Weather Extra. Anyway, happy Saturday weekends here. Beautiful morning. The sunrise looks were exquisite, and they were always on time. And it was beautiful. And that's the camera look I have in East Limestone, was where the sun came up. Now it's up above the banner, which means that we must be about at the 8:30 hour. And we are. And the temperatures are already climbing to 70 degrees. We were waking up in the 50s this morning. It was actually kind of nice. Not all that humid. We could be hot and we don't have to be humid, and that will be the case today, because these 60s to near 70 you see here will warm up to 90 in the afternoon. 80s to 90, like 88, 89, 90. And it will feel about 88, 89, 90, because there's like the dew point temperatures are in check. They're in the 60s for the most part, even some 50s. So if you keep the dew point in check, you can have hot, but you don't have to have humid. Then you don't talk about this like heat index value of 105 like we do in like mid-July. It's not like that. It's totally different in September here. And it doesn't play out to be nearly as uncomfortable. Satellite and radar, big blocking pattern. Call it whatever you want. There's a whole bunch of things to call it, but it's technically just a big blocking pattern, meaning that domes of high pressure just sitting in central U.S. So what it does is it steers the jet stream to the north. We call it a big ridge. And what happens is all the rainfall goes up and over that ridge. So it's raining in places that aren't accustomed to solid soaking rain. It's the monsoonal flow. And yes, you can have a monsoonal flow in the deserts of the southwest United States, and that's what's happening in New Mexico and Colorado, where they've had flash flooding the last 2 days. And then that jet stream with the arrows goes all the way up into Canada and then back through the Great Lakes, where there's another cluster of storms. That is your rain track for the foreseeable future. Besides a rogue shower tomorrow, this is mainly the track. Until this pattern breaks down, it's all about sunshine in the Tennessee Valley and temperatures that heat up to near 90 degrees. And again, a rogue shower tomorrow with some of the daytime heating, but this is mainly a dry forecast. So we'll go 90 today. With that big dome of high pressure, you got Alabama taking on Wisconsin in about 2.5 hours. They're in Tuscaloosa. Auburn taking on USA, South Alabama at 11:45. And I think I said 11:30 on air. I'm sure Karen will get me on that. But 11:45. And both Auburn and Alabama are almost 3 touchdown or over 3 touchdown favorites in their games. A&M Bulldogs take it up to Nashville, thank you very much. And they're going to be playing at Nissan Stadium, home of the Tennessee Titans, and they take on Tennessee State at 3:30. And UNA will be at home against Northeastern State. I had to look up where that's from. They're in Oklahoma. And that game kicks off at 6 p.m., and that will be a home game for UNA. Those of you who are big Troy Trojan fans, I know Claudia is, they play home tonight. And I do believe they take on the Memphis Tigers. And I think it's a night game, but I'm not sure. So the weather for all those games I just announced is going to be good. Just going to be a little warm. And speaking of sporting events, the Trash Pandas back in action tonight. This is the second to last game of the year. They play again tomorrow. Great night for baseball. Hopefully the Pandas can turn it around and get a win. They came up short last night. But always a good night. Got to hang out with Eric Burke and his wife Heather Burke, and always a good night to see him. Plus, saw so many people at the game that were just so nice, and so many people that I've started to talk to at the games and become friends with, and it's always a good night out. Saw my good friend Becky at the game, and Sully was there. I mean, it was good times. Good times to be had by all, win or lose. Going to miss the Pandas when the season's over, but looking forward to Havoc season. Mostly clear and pleasant tonight, low 60s after the pitching, or the game first pitch will be 80s into the 70s for the Pandas game. It will fall back into the 60s by morning tomorrow. A little more cloud cover for Sunday. We'll mix with your sunshine. There's a slight shower chance, but I think most will stay dry. It's 80s to near 90. Our weather's really, really quiet, and not much to talk about in terms of any kind of storm activity for us, but keeping an eye on the tropics off the coast of Africa, a tropical wave that could develop. It's moving into like favorable conditions and then not so favorable conditions. It's going to be on the fence of whether it not becomes named. But anyway, 40% chance in the next 7 days it would be Gabrielle. If it gets named, we'll keep an eye on that. Hurricane season goes all the way till the end of November. Our weather is quiet, certainly not a tropical feel out there. In fact, 90, 92, 93 Monday through Wednesday probably look a bit intimidating, but I can tell you right now that it's not going to be humid. It will be tolerable. But I know many of you are longing for fall and PSL season and leaves changing and that sweatshirt kind of weather. That is not in the cards for the next 10 days. There's no sharp cold front. There's no big drop in temperature. And that graphic takes you through Monday, which would be the 22nd. Why is that significant? That's the first day of fall. And then the last week of September looks to be above average too. So no real break in the action. Vacation Valerie, good morning to you. Thank you for saying hi. Is that Mima or is it Mima? Mima Benitez. What a great name. Good morning to you. I gotta be honest. I'm terrible with last names usually, but I got your last name down. That's easy. I just want to make sure I say the first name right. So if you could type a phonetic spelling for me, once I see it once, I don't forget. Okay? But I hope I have that right. I want to say Mima. Mima. I think it's M-E-E-E-E-E, Ma, but I'm not sure. Help me out. Anyway, Vacation Valerie said, good morning, Jeff. Did you have the awesome nachos last night? I did, Vacation Valerie, at the Trash Panda game. It's done a little differently this year. They serve the nachos over at the All-Star vending area. But very good, though. Nachos, I had brisket nachos. I eat them. I had tons of jalapenos. I'm paying the price today, though. Get me right here. But they were good. I'm going to miss the nachos. Yeah. My good friend Ibendo was there last night. And he come down and see us. He's such a good guy. And he comes down and sits with us. And he got us some game balls and signed him. And he put him, Ibenda, the Nacho King. It was pretty awesome. I got the baseball in my truck. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. So good times to be had by all for sure. So real quiet weather pattern, easy peasy stuff. I'd like to think that maybe those showers maybe overperform on Sunday. They did on Thursday. We had some wind damage with some thunderstorms. We had them in the forecast. Eric Burke was talking about the storms in the morning Thursday, and they played out and certainly brought some heavy rain, but it was very isolated. Some parts of Hazel Green had some wind damage. I think Rogersville had some wind damage, collapsing thunderstorms. But not a lot of rain in that 10-day. And this can happen September and October. And when I was complaining about the rain back in June, everyone said, just remember in September and October, it's going to get really bad. And you know what? You're right. Lesson learned. I will never complain about too much rainfall in June ever again. I was getting rain every day. And my backyard was a mud pit. And I was like, I've had enough, waving the white flag. And everyone said, you're going to regret that. I regret it. My grass has been green all summer. And I noticed today, when I got up this morning, it was dark, but I could see in the yard there was a little brownish coming now. That happens. So yeah, I take it back, Mother Nature. You can bring as much rain as you want. Unless I'm playing pickleball that day. Don't bring any rain that day. So, Vacation Valerie. Adam, how you doing in Fort Payne? Good to see you out, my friend. Hope you have a fantastic day. Happy weekend. Happy Saturday. Good stuff. I'm watching something. So, I don't know if so we run these stories. They do them at night. We carry over to Saturday. And Liz Hurley does this like pet adoption. Liz could sell anything. She's trying to promote the adoptions for the cats and for the dogs, and the way she tells the story and describes the animals. Well, I just saw a little thing on it. It was there. I have a big screen here. I'm seeing different things that are happening, right? But I was watching her this morning, and it comes to the weather right after she talks about, finding a home for a pet, cat, dog, whatever. She's talking about that day. And I feel like after I watch it, I feel like that she has motivated me to want to go adopt every single animal she talks about. Because the way she talks about it, it's so genuine. And she even talks about how they like their reactions of what they like. And I don't know, I saw it and I just saw a clip. And just a friendly reminder too, this time of year, You get to the fall season, into the winter, maybe you're thinking about adding an addition to the family with a dog or cat. A lot of rescues around here that could use a little help. And I'm thinking about maybe, I would love to get a third dog, but I think Rubble and Sky would probably be like, they would terrorize that poor dog. But nonetheless, now what you can do is you adopt a puppy or you adopt an older dog, some of those older dogs, they would love a home. That's what I did for mine. And then you take them for a nice long walk one of these days here. But anyway, I saw the story Liz Hurley did out of the corner of my eye, and I kind of got a chuckle out of it this morning because I feel like she would inspire me to do anything. She's a very inspirational person, for sure. All right, comments are low, eyeballs are low. I'm going to wrap this up early. So Jada will be in tonight. She'll have the very latest. I'll be in tomorrow morning. Jada back Sunday night. And we'll keep an eye on the forecast for any showers on Sunday, Thursday, Friday. I mean, got to look hard because there's not a lot in the forecast model spitting out much rainfall. But we'll keep an eye on it. If we have to make some adjustments, of course, we will. I think the forecast for now looks pretty good. We'll have an update on the tropics, of course, if that storm does get named. While the Atlantic has been very quiet this year, the Pacific has been very active. Obviously, some of that rainfall in the southwest portion of the U.S., it's the monsoonal flow. They get it this time of year. They need it. They're getting too much at one time. But sometimes tropical systems off the coast of like Baja, California can actually bring some rainfall and influence the heavy rainfall in the southwest corner of the U.S. So a lot of times you think Pacific hurricanes, you don't think U.S., but there is an influence there for parts of our area at times. So yeah, that's why we're always keeping track of things. Weather is very busy sometimes, but for us right now, it's very chill, at least forecasting. The temperature's not chill, top. Joseph, how did Grayson High School do last night? I have no idea, Joseph. I didn't see all the sports scores, so I only saw a couple. We had a couple featured games. We run a crawl at the bottom, though, in the morning. That puts all the scores up. And I think it's airing. I think it's airing now? I'm not sure. I think it's airing now. I can see it running at the bottom on the CTV screen. So if you look at the bottom of that screen, I think you can see what I see. Is scores that are running. We were at the West Morgan-Priceville game. West Morgan 8-7, close game. But I don't know. I don't remember seeing the Grayson score. You can always go on our webpage, too. There's the list of all the scores there. There's a ton of games. I mean, there's so many high school games around here. Like, I come from a small state. So this is a lot going on. That's for sure. Vacation Valley, have a great day. See you next Saturday. Early church now. That sounds good. Go have early church. I'm going to go have early breakfast. Everybody have a fantastic Saturday. And Jada will be back in tonight with the very latest for you, not only on air, but with Weather Extra, which she does, I do believe, at 4:30. So have a good day, everybody.